CMUEagles.com with Central Methodist head women's basketball coach James Arnold as the Eagles prepare to host Graceland on Thursday inside Puckett Fieldhouse at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. Coach, this will be the third annual Blow Pop game, the second straight year that your team has faced the Yellow Jackets for this promotion. Just talk a little bit about the promotion itself and the third year and what it means.
Well, the Holman family is very special to Central Methodist, to Fayette, and certainly to the basketball programs. For a long time, they've been some of the most largest supporters, and just both in off the court, on the court. It started obviously because after every win, they would bring blow pops to the team. And with the passing of Bill a few years ago, this was a great way to honor him. Martha is still out every night, and if she's not at games, she's still texting Coach Sherman or I. So they're just our biggest fans, and we're big fans of them, and we're very blessed and very fortunate that they're part of the Central Methodist athletics and basketball families.
You look at Graceland after a rather long losing streak. They've alternated wins and losses for the last 7 games. What does that say about their ability to beat a lot of teams, but their inconsistency?
Well, I think a lot of it is that they don't really have a post game, and I think that's why they've had some games that they have lost close and maybe haven't gone on the run that they're capable of going. They're pretty perimeter oriented at times. They're very athletic. They're very potent offense. They're very potent offensively. They can take you off the bounce. They've got a couple long guards that they've had that are just sophomores that had really nice freshman campaigns last year that can shoot it, can post a little bit, can take you off the bounce and finish in the paint. And they're very concerning offensively because they can really go. One of the most explosive offenses in our league. What we need to make sure that we do is sit down and defend because they're so good offensively. They don't really run any certain thing over and over again that can be a factor. It's not like they run a high-low or a screen and roll system. They spread you out. They use their athleticism. They want to, like I said, spread you out, take you off the bounce, and make the extra pass and try to beat you. We're going to have our hands full defensively for sure.
This is a team that during your tenure you've only lost to once, and that was in the HAC tournament your first year. So you've never lost them during the regular season. Why do you think your squad has had so much success against Graceland? We've
been pretty fortunate to catch them at good times with injuries, and a couple of years, the first 2 years, we caught them right around Christmas break time, and they've had some kids in California that need to return home because of flights and things, and so we've been very fortunate there. The year that they beat us in the playoffs is the year they went all the way to the HAC championship. We're picked to finish, I think, second in the league that year preseason, had some injuries, and then they had the Player of the Year in Florida Ciosi. So this is a team that has always been very explosive offensively. We've always been pretty good offensively, and so when the two teams have gotten together, it's been about maybe who has the ball last or who makes shots early. And I think this game is going to be fairly similar. They're ahead of us in the conference standings, so at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for us to move up, and we want to and need to move up to reach our goals. We're going to certainly, like I said, have our hands full on how we can keep them in front of us and how we can keep their offense from getting on, clicking on all cylinders.
Sydney Vaughn leads the team in scoring. What are some of the things that she does well, and who are some of the other Yellow Jackets to pay attention to Thursday night?
Well, Vaughn and Lipinski, both those guards. Vaughn especially is the kind of kid that this league is becoming known for, very similar to Rutledge from Benedictine, 5'11", guard forward, can take you off the bounce, is strong enough that you can't put a guard on her, but it's quick enough that you can't put a forward on her. Fortunately, I feel like we have a kid like Burgundy Lewis or even Allison Hines or Bima, kids like that we can put to kind of combat that, but she's a load. The Kane, the point guard, had a nice campaign last year. Kane is athletic, shifty, takes you off the bounce. Like I said, and they come off the bench with kids like Martha, who are very explosive offensively, can heat up in a hurry, and our biggest thing is we need to make them defend us. It's very similar to Columbia College. We can flash back to that game earlier in the year. Columbia College, very explosive offensively, very good in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock defensively. But like most teams, us included, no one wants to defend for 12, 14, 15 seconds. We need to make them defend for 10, 12, 15, 18, 20 seconds, and we're going to get good looks. That also takes some of the air out of the ball for them offensively, so they're not able just to push at the other end. Big concern for me, though, is at Mid-Am on Saturday and in games where we've struggled, we've given teams free points. We gave away a ton of free points. Graceland leads the league in steals, or top of the league in steals. They forced 100 more turnovers than we have, and if we play into that game and play into that style, we're going to give them free points. They're so good offensively that we're not going to want to do that for sure.
So what is the message to your team to counteract that, to hopefully come out with a win Thursday?
Make them defend first and foremost. Trust your stuff. Run your stuff. Trust each other. Run the system. I think we can have a significant advantage in the post. When they have one post player that gets a lot of time, and when she comes out, they tend to go with 4 forwards, 3 guards and 2 forwards, 4 guards and a forward, and do a lot of cutting. That's going to be a mismatch for us defensively at times, but on the other end, we can take advantage of that offensively, and we need to pound them in the paint. I think that's an advantage for us for sure. When we've made them struggle in years past, we've made them shoot tough twos. They're really good at getting to the basket. They're really good at shooting behind the arc, but we need to make them shoot tough twos. And the biggest key is, like we saw on Saturday against Mid-Am, our first shot defense is maybe one of the best in the country. But from a defensive rebounding standpoint, allowing offensive rebounds, we're really struggling there. Something we've been talking about in practice, and we're going to have to limit their shots to 1.